Welcome to the Shellonomics Podcast, your source for pure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles entertainment, presented by King Mictus.
Okay, guys, another episode of Shellonomics. I'm with our good friend Christian again. Christian, I got tissues for you, man. If you need them, I hope you can survive this episode. We both know it's going to be really, really hitting the feels with a shocker to both of us who have been diehard fans for almost 30 years by the time of this episode coming out at the end of the season. Stick around for that spoiler. But anyways, before we deep dive into Season 3 of the 2012 series, you're really good being like a TMNT Dare Talk O'Neill. I know you've seen the new NECA toys based on the 2012 series. I got to know your first thoughts. Do you like them?
Oh, they look fantastic. Hey, I've seen them online, like the pictures, but I'm big fan of them. They're really, really good, you know, and just as NECA does.
Yeah.
Really cool.
They knocked it out of the park once again, and I'm going to have to do some digging, or maybe have Casey Jones come over for shop class and see if I can get some extra shelves if I want to get those guys, because there's just too much turtle goodness. Yeah. Too much turtle goodness. So
I know that problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to let anybody go either, because it's like they give you that sad look, that toy, when you say, sorry, you got to go in the Tupperware. You got to go, on a different shelf. I try not to hurt their feelings, especially because I'm a big Toy Story guy, so we don't want any bad karma from our toys attacking us.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, my friend. Well, let's get right into it here. We have Seth Green voicing Leonardo making his debut in this season, and it's going to be Within the Woods. So before we talk about the episode, what were your thoughts on Seth Green?
He was different. He was different from what we were used to after 2 seasons, from Jason Biggs and Dominic Cantrabone. But I got used to him really quickly. I think he did a really great job, and I was always a fan. I was always fascinated that they really addressed the voice change in universe. That they said, yeah, Leonardo sounds different now because he had this fight with the Shredder and his voice box got hurt. So he sounds different now. And so they didn't have to address that, but they did. I'm always a big fan of stuff like this, when, like, I don't know, when there's a different actor doing a character or anything. I always think that if they give it a reason for the change, it's always cool. It's more, I don't know, how should I put it? I think it's better to do this, like, okay, there's a reason, then I'm fine. And if they don't address it, it's like, okay, so now, like they did, if you remember, from the Harry Potter spin-off movies, the Fantastic Beasts movies, when Grindelwald first was Johnny Depp, and the next movies was Mads Mikkelsen, who looked completely different, acted completely different, and they never addressed it. I did not like this. So I think, I'm a big fan when they say that there's a reason for the change.
Yeah, and I think it helps out too, because again, it's just geared towards kids, and there's going to be a lot of kids like who are very intelligent, mind, and be like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like the Ninja Turtle I know. What happened to Leonardo? So I like that too, just from a kid's perspective too, just to let them understand what the change was. But this is a lot different here, guys. We've got just when you thought Season 2 was, the top pick for a season finale, I think we got one that's going to top it here. This is almost like the X-Men show to me, man. They just have mutant after mutant coming up, more cameos that we're going to have to talk about. But we start off nice and slow. Some little recouping, almost like the first 1990s movie or the OG comic books, where we're chilling at kind of like a little farmhouse-ish kind of episode here. And Within the Woods. Take it away.
Yeah, this is pretty much Friday the 13th meets TMNT. So after the Krang invasion, the Turtles, April and Casey, they escaped the city, and they went to the O'Neill farmhouse to relax. Leonardo was especially hurt really bad, and so they tried to relax there a bit and heal. And through all this, Donnie created some mutagen-infused medicine for Leo, and, well, that didn't go well. He puked it up, and, through some mutagen magic, it created a monster, a mutant called the Creep, who is basically Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movie, and you know, I'm a big movie buff, and I love stuff like this when they really address, like, this is, you know, after all, this is a kids show, okay? But they address R-rated horror movies from the 80s. I'm here for this stuff. Yeah, this creature, the creep, attacks the turtles, even like sucks out the mutagen from Raphael, turn him into a plant for a while, and there's a big fight, and well, the creep is defeated, and Raphael is restored, and so everything is fine in the end. Cool horror movie style episode. I'm big fan of it. Big fan of the creep. We never got an action figure of him, unfortunately. They planned to do one, but it was never released. Would have been cool.
Yeah, well, depending on how we talked about it earlier when we kicked off our podcast episode here with NECA being in the front, you know, the leader of the pack now with the 2012 Turtles, they delivered a lot for us in the cartoon era, man. We got Rex 1 and a whole bunch of others that we didn't have as kids, so you never know. So fingers crossed, you know, maybe you could send that letter to Santa Claus soon. maybe it'll come sooner than you think. In regards to the spooky spooks, we do have another spooky coming up with A Foot Too Big.
Yeah, this episode, well, the turtles run into Bigfoot. And, well, Bigfoot is Lady Bigfoot. It's a she, and she's running away from a hunter called The Finger. And, and Bigfoot starts to really, really like Donatello. And so there's like this parallel here between Donatello and April, Bigfoot and Donatello realizes it. Well, there's a fight with the Finger, Bigfoot is rescued, and Donnie is like realizing like, okay, I see it. I really like you, April, but I don't want to annoy you, and in the end, there's like this scene in the end when it's like, you know, I'm just a mutant, and April walks up to him and gives him a little kiss and says, but you are my mutant. And this was a moment, gotta say, this was a moment when I thought like, okay, they're gonna step up the love story here. There's gonna be more to it. It's like, okay, so now a little kissy, and then they're gonna be more than friends, maybe. But little spoilery here, they never go very much with it over the course of the story, which is really unfortunate. Back then, when I saw this episode for the first time, I thought like, okay, it's gonna be deeper story here, but not really, gotta say. But overall, a fun little episode.
Yeah, exactly. And were you a wrestling fan back in the day?
Yeah, 90s, early 2000. I watched some wrestling. Yeah.
Did you recognize the voice of Mr. with Jesse Ventura being in this episode?
Yeah, Jesse Ventura. Yeah, I know the name. Yeah.
The governor and the body, Jesse the Body Ventura. I know that voice, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's in Ninja Turtles. I mean, who doesn't love Ninja Turtles? I mean, we have Louis Black, Jesse Ventura, Pee Wee Herman, and we have the first of many coming back to this show in this next episode here, Buried Secrets. I was hyped for this return, even though it was just a quick little cameo.
Yeah, this is really one of the greatest one. This to talk about it, the episode Buried Secrets is one of the episodes that I did not show my kids for a long time because, in my opinion, it's one of the creepiest episodes ever. Because in this episode, in the cellar under the farmhouse, the Turtles and April find like a Krang spaceship, and within it they find April's mother. And like, oh my God, she's alive! She's here. She was like frozen, and yeah, and the big one. This is so cool because April's mother is voiced by Renae Jacobs, who was the OG April in the classic TMNT 1987 cartoon. I love stuff like this. But, well, it turns out that she's not really April's mother. She's like a Krang experiment. It's like a shapeshifter. And it gets really creepy when she turns into like a Resident Evil style giant monster. Where like with the turtles inside her, like all this heads popping up. Wasn't this the creepiest scenery? Like the turtles' heads coming, join us! Like, whoa, I get chills. But in the end, the monster is defeated.
That takes a lot of you because you've been on here a lot and we've been talking about horror. I am no fan of horror. I still freak out when someone says boo. Not really, but that's my equivalent of scariness here. Like even Nightmare Before Christmas gives me a little heebie-jeebie. But you just say that because you're a big horror guy and you're like, man, I know my kids and just this is we're gonna have to wait a little bit till they get at least PG, whatever the H is for your age requirement. You. Oh my gosh! So as we know, this show has just been kicking butt. Obviously, being in season 3 and the writing. I mean, usually, when you're into a show, you're always like, last season was so much better. But this is so similar to 2003, where these get better and better and more characters. And now we get more characters coming in the next episode with a Pinky and the Brain voice actor reunion.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, you're right. With the Crow King. And another big voice, like I gotta say, cool voice actor, like a little Easter egg there. Because in this episode, Michelangelo in the woods runs into Napoleon Bonafrog. And he is voiced by John Heder, who was the actor who played Napoleon Dynamite. This is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
And so there are the punk frogs. The other punk frogs are also there. And there's like this big group of punk frogs. And, well, they don't like humans. So there's a big fight with them because April and Casey, they are humans. But, yeah, in the end, it turns out fine. Like, hey, come on, there are good humans, bad humans. So, the punk frogs leave. And, yeah, this is our introduction to the punk frogs in the 2012 universe.
Yeah, how did you like these frogs? And again, you get Maurice Lamar, who was, I believe, Brain's voice in Pinky and the Brain, which is just really, really cool how Rob Paulson and Maurice get reunited in this too. So how did you like the frogs in this universe compared to the 87?
They were different because, we have our 4 main frogs like Napoleon, Attila, Rasputin, and Genghis. But there's like this whole clan of frogs, so they were really different. They were not really punky, but but it worked in this world. It worked for this story, and I thought it was an interesting take on the characters.
Yeah, me too. And we also get the punk frogs again in Splintered Fate, the video game that came out a couple of years ago. But in the DLC, you get the punk frogs. Yeah. They are definitely more punkier than this version for sure. Oh man, well, the hits just keep on coming. Let's break down the next episode.
Yeah, we're getting back to the horror vibe with the episode In Dreams, which is, I said it before, it's like Friday the 13th meet the Turtles. Now we have Nightmare on Elm Street meet the Turtles. And because the Turtles, they run into the Dream Beavers, who are this like extra-dimensional creatures, like these beavers that can enter people's dreams and like suck out their life energy through it. And the turtles are not waking up. So there's like this whole thing where the turtles are inside this dream dimension and everything is really chaotic and really scary and crazy. And the ending of this episode is the funniest thing ever because there's this guy called Bernie who was a scientist who didn't sleep for 40 years to keep the beavers trapped in the dream dimension so that they don't come into the real world, which they want. And he's got this device. There we also have a fun callback to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because Bernie attacks Casey in one scene with a chainsaw, and on the chainsaw is written, "The saw is family," which is a sentence from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, by the way.
Very nice.
And in the end, the device is destroyed. The beavers get free, but it turns out that they are just like little blushy creatures in our world, and they're not all that powerful, and they're like, okay, that didn't work out, and then they teleport away. And it's so funny because Bernie is like, I didn't sleep for 40 years because I was afraid of blushies. That was the end of that.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just They did love so much horror. And I mean, is this now, who did horror better in your opinion? Again, they each have their own take. I'm just curious if I had a Nerf gun to your head, did 2003 do it better or 2012? Because they both did a really good job.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, 2003 had some really great horror style episodes. But I gotta say, the 2012 Ciro Nielli, the showrunner of the 2012 show, is always said sometimes that he is such a big horror movie fan, and that's why he did all these horror style turtle episodes, and he did so many. I mean, here we have like every second episode is a horror story, and yeah, so you can take like some episodes from a 2012 show and make a whole horror Halloween marathon out of it just with TMNT episodes. So yeah, 2012 I think did even more horror stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, and just and there's a lot more to come, guys. Be sure to, if you haven't yet, be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Spotify for Shellonomics. We got another cool one coming up here now. This guy, I am pretty big into anime, and like most people, they do prefer subbed over dubbed, but there always is an exception to the rule. And for me, voice actor in America, Steve Bloom, I always like his voice acting. And now he is in a Turtles episode. I can't believe it. This guy is literally everywhere. He's been Wolverine and Wolverine and the X-Men, tons and tons of anime, video games, and now he debuts in the next Ninja Turtle episode that Christian's going to break down for us.
That would be Race with the Demon. And well, you know, in this universe, Mutagen can pretty much do everything. So in this episode, it like mutates a car, and it turns like it became sentient. You know, like the movie Christine, Stephen King movie. And well, there's this crazy race, and Donatello gets caught in the car and gets turned into this monster creature. Really the craziest design. And well, Casey is the one who has to raise him and save him, and in the end the car gets destroyed and explodes, which funny goes right into the next episode. But yeah, we're going there.
Yeah, feel free to take a swig of water if you want and get right into the next one whenever you're ready.
Yeah, that would be Eyes of the Chimera. And in this episode, like when the car exploded, all this mutagen inside the car fell on top of like a hawk who had a fish in its claws, and the fish had a worm in its mouth. So we become like this, we create like this mutant creature who is a mix of a hawk, fish, and worm creature. Really crazy, just called a chimera. And well, to make matters worse, because Donatello was doing some experiments, April loses her sight, but she can see through the eyes of the Chimera. There's like this psychic connection between them. And to make matters worse, Rev, Donnie, and Mikey get captured by the creature. So Leonardo, who's still not completely healed, and April have to work together to save them. And well, in the end, they are able to do so. And well, but we see in the end that Chimera is still out there, and who knows, maybe we'll come back another day.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. We're going to be in episode 8 here of season 3, and once again, just like the 2003 show, this doesn't feel rushed. They're still chilling at that farmhouse out there, man. They haven't even gone back to their home in New York yet. We're getting there, but they haven't yet, and I really enjoy just how they take their time. And if this isn't one of the coolest, Easter egg type things in Ninja Turtle history, I don't know what is in Vision Quest.
Oh, Vision Quest. This is really like the moment when you see, okay, we're getting serious again. Because the Turtles, they get, like in the 1990 movie, they get a message from Splinter, like like Spirit Splinter appears in front of them. They're like, okay, you have to go on a vision quest and you have to find your way, and then you can come back to New York. And so the Turtles get like new stuff. Like they dress up in this mystical gear. It just looks so cool. And then they each go into the woods and they confront like visions of enemies like this Razar and Tiger Claw and even a Shredder, and they have to confront these visions, and yeah, in the end they're able to fulfill the vision quest and come back stronger than ever. And once again, like the 90 movies, like we have to go back, and this is like the end, and like, oh yeah, getting chills. It's like, okay, cool, here we go. Great episode.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And just again, they did everything right here, because this never felt forced, did it? Most of these Easter eggs, it never felt like they were just trying to throw it in there. They actually had good creative ways to get this in there. Wouldn't you agree? Like with all our Easter eggs we get for us OG fans, from the Ninja Turtle theme song with the shells, with the cell phone, to this Vision Quest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's even other stuff here, because in one scene, like Raphael is diving into this cave, and he's coming up through the water in this cave, and he's like, oh, there's this underwater cave. The only thing missing here is a pirate ship, which is a callback to the Goonies. And Sean Astin, the voice actor of Raphael, was in the Goonies.
Yes.
This is the stuff I love.
Yeah, and they just have so much. I mean, again, just like the other Turtle shows, you just tell they just had a lot of fun with this one. And they're like, what can we do next?
Oh, yeah.
It was almost, I wouldn't say King Midas with the golden touch, but again, it almost felt like they couldn't do any wrong here, because this show went 5 seasons strong. Kids loved it. Popularity. They had video games. They had an arcade game from this franchise, which is something very rare in our era. Arcades were more 80s, 90s, early 2000s. They had their own arcade game, and I tell you, man, it's been fun reliving these. And the next episode here, Return to New York. Now we're starting to get back into the action zone. Yeah.
So, as the title suggests, Turtles go back to New York, and they try to find Splinter, and they find Splinter, but he's like, after everything that he went through, all the trauma, he's like not his normal self. He's like very aggressive, very animal-like, and he gets captured by Shredder and like thrown into a cage, and the Turtles have to infiltrate Shredder's place to get Splinter out again. There's a big fight, including some Shredder mutants, some familiar Shredder mutants, if you remember from the comics and the 2003 cartoon. Yep. And then they have to fight it, and in the end Splinter remembers who he really is and comes back, and Turtles are back in New York. They have Splinter, they are hiding in New York, but it's still overrun by the Krang, so there's still this problem. But they're gonna have to fight that when the time comes.
Yeah. And now we get Michael Jackson and somebody else here making their debuts. We'll get your thoughts on after the end of this Serpent Hunt, but I'm sure you know where we're going with this. I really enjoy these two. I think they're great, great chemistry, and we'll introduce you to them in Serpent Hunt.
Yeah, in this episode we meet Anton Sack and Steranko again, who are also like caught in New York. They can't get out, and they know that Shredder is searching for Karai, who is somewhere in the city as a snake, and they hunt her because they want to catch her, to bring her to Shredder. So there's like, hey, we give you her and you bring us out of the city. But they are, not really successful, and the Turtles, they got caught in this whole thing. But in the end, they get brought to Shredder, like, hey, I know what you tried to do, and I'm gonna punish you for this. And they get mutated into some very familiar characters, a rhino and a warthog. And that's where we're going with this.
Oh man, yeah, and then we're gonna go right into the pig and the rhino here with the debuts of those '87 infamous duo.
Exactly. And Shredder sends out the two now mutated Zack and Steranko to like, you have one more chance to find Karai. And so they go out there and, well, by the way, destroy the turtles, of course. And they run into the turtles. There's a big fight. Michelangelo gives them their names, Bebop and Rocksteady, because he sees this music, the music styles on like a side of a truck. And this is so funny because Rocksteady is like, I like the Rocksteady. And Bebop's like, no, I don't like it at all. What would you have been? What would you have done if standing like to an advertisement for cotton candy? Would you have called us cotton candy and corn dog or something? So yeah, there's like this conflict, but well, in the end, they are even successful. They are even able to capture Karai and bring her to Shredder. So now Karai, as a mutant, is also captured by Shredder, and yeah, it's gonna be a big thing in the future.
Yeah. Now, how do you like Bebop and Rocksteady? I'll go first. I like them both. I like Rocksteady's accent. I like Bebop with his pretty much paying homage to Michael Jackson in every episode, breakdancing. I like his moves. I mean, yeah, he's like a super skinny dude, but just the chemistry there is great. They're hilarious together. How did you like Bebop and Rocksteady in the 2012 series?
Yeah, you gotta say they are very different from Bebop and Rocksteady's we know so far, but they are so great. They are so great characters. I love them both. They are so funny. You know, you have Rocksteady with the Russian accent and the skinny dancing Bebop. This is so, and they're so lovely together. Like always, like when there's like something, I don't know, something scary happening, like Bebop, hold me, Rocksteady, and like yeah, they're hugging and stuff like this. I'm a big fan of them. They're so great. Yeah, they're great. They're great Bebop and Rocksteady. Different, but great.
And they play a huge role if you guys stick around for other episodes. As Christian already knows, they play a big role near endgame of this whole series. So now we got another two-parter. Feel free to break them both down. We've got our X-Men Mighty Mutanimals coming together, and this is just a huge all-out brawl.
Yeah, we have the two-parter Battle for New York, where the Turtles are finally going after the Krang because Donnie was able to create some more retro mutagen to turn the humans that got mutated by the Krang back into humans. So the Krang, they are in the city, and the Turtles, they run into a new group of mutants. But the mutants we already know, it's Slash, Leatherhead, Pigeon Beat, and Dr. Rockwell, the monkey. And they are calling themselves the Mighty Mutanimals. So we have the Mutanimals now in this universe. Pretty cool, gotta say. And yeah, Slash is the leader of them. And well, the Turtles, they have a problem with him, especially Leonardo is like, hey, I cannot trust you. You know, last time we met, you weren't really the nicest guy. And Slash like, yeah, I've changed. So yeah, character development, big thing here. And so the Turtles and the Mutanimals, they work together to fight the Krang, first to stop a mutagen rocket, and then to go to Dimension X to save the humans that were transported there as slaves into Dimension X. And there's a big fight with the Krang, and in the end, the humans get demutated, get sent back to Earth, including April's father, and the Krang, they get sent to Dimension X. So the city is now free of the Krang again. Everything's pretty much back to normal. And yeah, for now, the Krang are defeated. The humans are back on Earth. Everything is back to normal. Big win, I gotta say.
Yeah, and I never get tired of hearing Gilbert Gottfried as Krang Subprime. Do you? I could hear him every episode. He's great.
He's fantastic. Just the moment when he's talking to other Krang and like, yeah, the Krang say that the rocket is ready for Krang to shoot, and the Krang Subprime is like, we've been on this planet for centuries and you still cannot talk normally. This is fantastic.
And every time it's a curse word, he just says Krang instead. So you gotta be Kranging me. Oh, he's got so many good ones. And Now this one's I enjoy. It's I'm gonna see if you see the resemblance of the new style of familiar character. Again, this show just shows appreciation for all Turtles culture because we get somebody we saw in the 2003 series making his debut in the next episode here.
Once again, in a very different way. Yeah, the episode is Casey Jones versus the Underworld. And in this episode, Casey, goes solo to fight the bad guys, and he runs into the Purple Dragons. Nothing unusual there, but they've got a new leader called Han. But it's not like the usual Han that we know, like the big hulking strong guy. This is like Bruce Lee. He's like Bruce Lee, fighting very fast, very strong. Very interesting take on Han. I mean, I like him. I like his fighting style. He's pretty formidable fighter. But he's not who I think of when I hear the name Han. But hey, it works. It's cool. And yeah, the Shredder and the Foot Clan, they get mixed up also in this whole thing. And then the Turtles come in like, hey, Casey, we're gonna help you. Because there's like some foot ninjas and like footbots and Tiger Claw in the end that they go into this factory to steal some chemicals. That's gonna cause some trouble later on, and the Turtles and Casey work together in the end, fight Han, fight Tiger Claw, fight the footbots, and they're able to defeat them. But yeah, Shredder is planning something. So yeah, that's where we are.
No, I agree. Just it's cool seeing Han, but it's like they really kind of just changed him and made a whole 360 with the character from being a big hunky bulky dude who was very competent in the 2003 series too. I mean, he went against Shredder. He showed no fear. But yeah, I'm glad you caught the Bruce Lee resemblance, as did I. So he's cool. Like I said, no harm, no foul. But I definitely would rock the 2003 if I had to choose between 2012 and 2003. But like you say, I'm with you, Turtles fan. It's still cooler paying homage to that character who was a huge, big role in the 2003 series. So coming up next, we've got another friend here with a funky name for the name of the episode because I thought they were going to go a different way, but ends up being somebody from the 87 series here, and a toy too.
Yeah, the episode is called The Noxious Avenger, and here we get introduced. We like this garbage man, and he get mutated by accident and get turned into Mugman. And yeah, we also have a Joe Eyeball in this, but there once again a little twist that the 2012 show likes to do is like the Joe Eyeball is like the mutated eyeball of Mugman, who's like his conscience, is like Jiminy Cricket, always talking to him like, you should not do this. And yeah, because Mugman is not really evil, he tries to do good, but he's like, he goes after the Turtles because he gets tricked by Bebop and Rocksteady, like, hey, you fight the Turtles. And he also got some superpowers, like he can control garbage and fling it at the Turtles and stuff like that. It's really crazy. But yeah, in the end, of course, the Turtles and Mugman, they team up like, hey, we're all good guys here. So everything turns out fine. So yeah, now we have Mugman in this universe too.
There are just so many. I mean, they had to have a feast and just on how many characters. And that's got to be hard to do too, just to have like almost every episode here, we're having a new character come into town, or multiple, like with our Punk Frogs, Bebop, and Rocksteady, and we still have more to come. And we'll be getting to some more very, very soon. But first, we have Clash of the Mutanimals.
Yeah, in this episode, the chemicals that Shredder was trying to get come back into play because he uses it to create like a mind control serum, like with some like little bugs that he puts into the brains of others, like very creepy, blah. And yeah, he's like mind controlling, and he's using it to mind control some of the Mutanimals to fight the Turtles. And then later on, he's even able to mind control Raphael. And yeah, it's really crazy because Raphael like gets this Shredder claws, like a callback to the Image comics when Raphael became the Shredder. I don't know. So yeah, the turtles have to fight their friends and even Raphael, but they are in the end they're able to like puke out the worms and get back to their normal selves, and so everything's fine. But yeah, this was just a test for the mind control serum that's gonna come into play. Yeah.
Yeah, and unlike our '87 series, this stuff actually works and it's more serious. Not like silly, 4-year-old mix-ups where Bebop and Rocksteady would botch the mutant. It actually, they did it and it worked, which is what I like.
Yeah.
Is, you think of Planet of the Turtleoids where they're supposed to get a lion and gorilla, but they end up getting, a bull and a mole. So I just like how the story is like when they say they're going to do something, they do it. So it is pretty cool how they follow through. But here comes a return of one of my favorite voice actors of a certain character, coming up with Mondo Gecko.
Oh, dude. Episode Meet Mondo Gecko. We get so much callbacks in this episode alone. Because, well, Michelangelo runs into a mutated gecko called Mondo. And, well, first off, the catchphrase of Mondo Gecko is in this world Cowabunga. So we get the introduction of Cowabunga in this world, since it's Booyakasha for Mikey. And yeah, he's working for a mysterious Mr. X, which is also a callback to the classic cartoon, because in the classic cartoon, Mondo Gecko was working for a criminal called Mr. X. Well, in this episode, it turns out that Mr. X is actually Sever, aka Fishface. So yeah, there's this fight, and another Easter egg. It's like Easter egg inception.
Yeah.
That Mondo Gecko is voiced by none other than Robbie Rist, who was the original Michelangelo in the 90s movies. Wow, it's like everything. This episode got everything, and I don't even talk about all the cameos of the bad guys that we see when there's like this skateboarding contest later on. Like we see like Pizza Face and all the bad guys. They're just watching the competition. And yeah, we have this big skateboarding contest between Mikey and Mondo Gecko and Fishface. And of course, Mikey and Mondo Gecko, they team up and become best buddies. So yeah, just like it should be.
Yeah. How did you like this version of Mondo Gecko? I think it's cool that they have Mr. X also. They get him back in the story too.
Yeah, Mondo is great. He's not really. He's like, hey, I'm a big fighter, but he's not a fighter. He's like always gets knocked around. He's not strong or anything, but I love him. Even if it's just for the voice. The voice is so perfect. Robbie Rist is so great. Just hearing Cowabunga in Robbie Rist's voice is just giving me chills. Yep. He's great. He's a funny character.
Oh yeah, and what's nice too is he's in a good amount of episodes too. He doesn't just pop in and pop out. They did a real good job having most of these characters stick around for a couple episodes as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, coming up next, character we haven't heard much about with Karai coming around here now with the Deadly Venom. Yeah,
finally, Shredder reveals his big plan that he's able now to control Karai. Well, he got her captured. Now he's using the mind control worms to control her and to send her after the turtles. And she's attacking them. She's attacking Casey with her venom and poisoning the turtles and Casey. And Leonardo learns a new move from Splinter, like the healing hands, where he can stop the poison, and he uses it on the others to save them together with Splinter. So yeah, it's a big thing because Karai attacks them all, but turtles are able to stop it, and so Karai escapes. But yeah, she's pretty much on Shredder's side now, even though it's not what she wants, because she's controlled by him. So yeah.
There's no choice, and you'll continue to see that develop more and more. So now I'm going to say the name just because, again, this is why I appreciate you coming on our show a lot here, is Renae makes her debut here. I'm so proud you taught me that one, because otherwise I still would have been calling her Renae. So I'm glad you called it out, because you're like, I'm sure this is actually a good investment if I tell Shellonomics to say the name correctly, because this will not be the last we see of her. And here she comes making her debut in this cartoon.
Yeah, in the classic titled episode Turtles in Time. It doesn't remind me of something. There was something. Wasn't there a video game called that? I'm not sure.
Oh yes, just maybe the most recognizable one too for home consoles.
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody's favorite.
Absolutely. And yeah, so Renae pops in. This is pretty much like an adaptation of the classic comic book story where Renae pops in together with the turtles. She flies to the medieval times where she runs into Savanti Romero and have some great adventures. And hey, Mikey has a crush on her. It's like, oh, she's cute. And yeah, they have a big adventure, fight Savanti Romero. And in the end, like, okay, we go back to our time, to your present time, but there's like a problem. And suddenly they get sent to Japan in the past. Like, what happened here? Where are we? We're gonna find out in the next episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a two-parters, like, or more of a sequel.
Yeah, they do that a lot in this show too. Again, and I really enjoy the continuation. Feel free to take it away in the tale of the yokai.
Yeah, in this episode, the turtles, they get sent to Japan in the past, and they come to the time where Hamato Yoshi, Oroku Saki, and Tang Shen were still in Japan, and were still normal humans. And baby Miwa is there, and they land in the middle of the conflict that starts between Oroku Saki and Hamato Yoshi that we know about. And Oroku Saki rebuilds the Foot Clan and starts his feud with Hamato Yoshi. And it's so cute because the turtles, they run into Tang Shen and they meet baby Miwa. And because, well, they think that the turtles are yokai, but they're friendly yokai. Everything's fine. And yeah, so the turtles see like what happened back then in for their own, how everything happened, like the fight between Hamato Yoshi and Oroku Saki, when Tang Shen was killed, and Saki took Miwa with him, and yeah, that's they see all this, and in the end, Renae pops in again and sends them back to their present time. It's like, it has to happen. The turtles cannot interfere with this because it has to happen, or it will not play out the way everything should be. Like, it's cool. It's really cool. Like having this like kind of sort of flashback episode. I really like this one to like, okay, we see it now, the whole story once again. So now we know everything that happened back then. Pretty cool.
It's even difficult for me to keep up with the cast. Again, now this was, I believe, in 2015 this came out. Michael Bay's Ninja Turtle movie came out in 2014. So they're like, you know what, let's get somebody from the Michael Bay movie to come in here. Can you believe that Tang Shen was voiced by Renae, the Karai character in the Michael Bay movie? I didn't catch that first time watching this episode.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. This is also really cool little crossover kind of sort of.
Yeah, I mean, they're throwing them from everywhere. The 87 series, they're just popping up all over the place, all these who's voices. It's really incredible with everybody who just loves turtles, and all of them did a great job too. So here comes another one with a nice, I would say, it's not Super Shredder, but it's Attack of the Mega Shredder here.
Yeah, he's not super, he's mega, even bigger. Well, the Beyond Rocksteady are causing chaos again because they like mutate like these mutant shredders together into like a giant kaiju shredder, like Godzilla-sized shredder, and that's stomping through the city, and the turtles have to stop it. And I love this episode because it feels like Turtles in Attack on Titan. I gotta say it. Because the Turtles, they're swinging around, and especially Leonardo with his swords, it feels like he's a character out of Attack on Titan, one of my favorite animes of all time. And yeah, it's really cool. You've got a kaiju like Godzilla, Shredder. You've got Attack on Titan. You've got everything that I like. It's just a fun, really cool episode. I gotta say.
Yeah, it's another good one, and just what I really like is I don't think there's an. I mean, we're doing this again for viewers and listeners and fans of Turtles, and I really can't say there's an episode I'd throw out that you can skip. You know, in other episodes, me and you have done, Chris, you can pass on this one, but is there any episode you can live without here? I can't choose one. I've loved them all so far.
Nah, I gotta say, it's like in the 2003 cartoon. Yeah, there are some episodes you might call filler, but they're still entertaining. They're still like we get character moments that are important. So there's not one episode that will say, if you skip it, you're not missing anything. When you ask me, so hey, what episode of the 2012 show should I watch? I say, watch them all. Watch the whole show. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Even this one, now you're even getting into the what ifs. Like, what if Donatello wasn't so smart in the next episode here?
Yeah, the episode is called The Creeping Doom, and we witness the return of not only the creep, but also of Snakeweed. Because of some accident, the creep reforms, and now he's in New York and he's causing trouble. And as you said, Donatello gets also some chemicals on him, which slowly turn him into an idiot. He becomes more and more dumb, and it's because the Turtles are like, hey, we have to do something against the creep, and now Snakeweed is also there, and they're working together, and Donatello is like, I don't know anything. So yeah, and once again with the horror stuff in this episode, we have the creep, who's like this Jason character, and he's in New York, and there's some callbacks to like the movie Jason Takes New York, the 8th Friday the 13th movie. There's some, once again, you see like Ciro Nieli, the showrunner, is such a big horror fan. He's like, there's some scenes that are straight out of the Jason Takes Manhattan movie. Like there's a scene where Raphael attacks the creep, and the creep is not impressed at all, and then he knocks Raphael to the side. This is exactly a scene from the Jason movie where some guy attacks Jason, and Jason knocks the guy's head off. I mean, Raphael doesn't get his head knocked off, but it's completely the same scene. I love this stuff. So yeah, but well, in the end, Donnie comes back and they defeat the creep. They defeat Snakeweed, and so yeah, of course, everything turns out fine again. But it's just a cool episode.
Yeah, just a lovely what if, because I don't think that's ever been done before. I mean, maybe you can let me know when, but I don't recall it ever happening anywhere. With usually he's trying to make smarters or replacements or getting cocky, not losing his intelligence.
Yeah.
So, well, we're getting down to our final four here, guys, and our final four episodes, and all four of these are getting crazy, and one will lead into another here with the fourfold trap.
Yeah, this episode you could say it's Turtles meet Saw, because Karai, still controlled by the Shredder, captures the Turtles and puts them into traps that they have to fight to get out. Like Raphael is caught in like this little room that's getting hotter and hotter, and he almost burns him. Or Donatello gets caught in this virtual reality game that zaps him when he makes a mistake, and so on and so forth. The Turtles have to fight that. All the while, Splinter tries to help them. And well, Turtles are able to get out of the traps, and Splinter is able to confront Karai and uses the healing hand technique that we learned from earlier on her to so that the mind control worm get out of her. And at first it does not seem like it works. Karai gets flushed away, but in the last moment of the episode we see that she pukes up the worm, and so apparently at the end she's back to her normal self. She's not under Shredder's control anymore. And so, yeah, that's going to be interesting in the future.
Yeah, exactly. And now we get a debut of somebody we haven't seen yet, and I got to tell you, they could not have picked a better time for this character and race to debut.
Yeah, we have the episode Dinosaur Seen in Sewers. And if you know the Turtles, you know who these dinosaurs are, because we get the 2012 debut of Zog, who is the Triceratops, who is on Earth, and just like the usual, like it was in the classic comics and in the 2003 cartoon, he's like delusional because he can't breathe in our atmosphere, and Raphael runs into him and they become buddies. But the Triceratops, they are like sworn enemies of the Krang, and it's like Krang are still on Earth, and the Triceratops have to do something against it. And so, like, Raphael helps him at first until Zog gets his gear back and also his mask, so he can breathe normally again. So he gets normal again, turns into a normal Triceratops, and well, unfortunately, it becomes evil and uses a beacon to call the Triceratops to Earth. The beacon gets destroyed, but there's still a signal sent out there. Zog falls off the Statue of Liberty in the end and is apparently killed. But the Triceratops pick up the signal and they're like, okay, we're going to Earth, because the Krang are still on Earth. As we find out, some Krang are still there and they have to be destroyed. And that, well, brings us into the season finale.
Gosh, yeah, we talked last episode that you were on Shellonomics about season 2 just hitting you so hard with all the shocking moments there, and I don't know how you can top that writing in last season, but they do it here. We've got one of your buddies making their debut, and we've got somebody else coming at the end of this to hang in there and show us some light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But whew, again, I've got some tissues here for you if you need them, and if you need to take longer, it's okay. It'll be okay. You hang in there for this.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This is Annihilation Earth, two-parter. And yeah, this is, I always said with the last 2 season finales, I was like, oh, this is such a big finale. And it gets even bigger in every time. So now this is like, I gotta say, the most shocking one. This is when I first saw the end of this, I was like, did this really just happen? But first off, at the start of the episode, we meet, the Turtles run into a character named Bishop. And in this universe, Bishop is an Utrom, and he's like a friendly Krang. So because the Krang, they're like this hive mind, and the Utroms, they are from the same family, but they are not part of the hive mind. Like, they were not corrupted by Krang Prime. And Bishop is like this agent, and he's like, he wants to help the Turtles because he knows, first off, the Krang are still on Earth, and second, the Triceratops are coming to Earth. And what do they want? The Triceratops really want to destroy the world. So the Triceratops have a big invasion. There's a big fight, and Michelangelo gets captured by the Triceratops. So the Turtles have to get to the mothership to get Mikey back. And there's a big fight with the Triceratops, who are preparing the black hole generator, which is like this device that will create a black hole that will suck up the whole Earth, destroy the whole Earth, and the Turtles have to stop that. So there's a big fight, and everyone is in there. The Turtles call them Mutanimals. The Mondo Gecko is there. Mugman is there. All of them have to fight them. And even Splinter goes to none other than Shredder and says, hey, I know you hate me, but the Triceratops, they will destroy the Earth. And that includes you. So we have to work together now. And Shredder even agrees to that. So they all work together. Even Shredder and the Foot Clan work together against the Triceratons. And just as first shocker, just as Splinter is about to stop the black hole generator, Shredder attacks him from behind, stabs him through the chest, and kills Splinter. This moment just alone, like, what the shell just happened? And it's like, even Tiger Claw goes up to Shredder and is like, what did you do? You were now responsible for destroying the Earth. And Shredder's like, I don't care. Shredder is such a psycho. He's like, I don't care. I got my revenge. That's all I care now. The whole world can be destroyed. I don't give a damn. This is so crazy. And then a black hole generator starts, a black hole opens up and starts swallowing up the whole Earth. So everyone on Earth gets destroyed, everyone gets killed, and almost the turtles get killed. But then a spaceship flies in, and a robot, the Fugitoid, comes in like, come on, just jump on get on the spaceship, we're getting out of here. And so the turtles, April and Casey, fly off with the Fugitoid, fly off with the spaceship. Everyone else on Earth is killed, the Earth is destroyed, and this is the end of the season. And I was like, how will this, where do you go from here? When everything is destroyed, everyone is killed, what's going to happen next? I had no idea what they will do. And what a finale. Oh, this is the most shocking finale ever, I gotta say. Like, I didn't expect this. I did not expect Splinter getting killed. I did not expect the whole Earth getting destroyed. This is like it's like every season finale is a step up from the previous one. It's like, whoa, what a finale! I'm at loss of words here.
Yeah, I still can't believe it happened. Now you're more of a comic fan than I am, so this happened, I believe, in Mirage 4. I did some research before we started talking. Can you recall like the year of Mirage 4 when they actually killed Splinter off? Because this is the first time in like media cartoon form they killed him. So what was the difference? Can you recall like just a ballpark like estimate of when the Mirage 4 came out with Splinter dying?
Yeah. Mirage Volume 4 started in 2001.
Okay.
Splinter died in issue 10, if I remember correctly. So that's like a year after that. So it must be like 2002, maybe 2003. So yeah,
okay,
that happened a while before that. Yeah.
So I don't know if they had any inspiration for them doing this, but they figured, I mean, back-to-back season finales, those Shredder has Splinter's number. Did you see that coming either?
Yeah.
I mean, no revenge. I couldn't believe that either.
Yeah, this is really just the moment when it's all in slow-mo and Shredder, you see the claws coming out of Splinter's chest, like, whoa, that's wild. I did not expect this to happen. It's like, oh, dude. And yeah, as I said, it only gets crazier from there.
Yeah, and he's like, this is the only time I will know that Hamato Yoshi is going to have his guard down. I can blindside him. This is probably the only time he's not literally going to see this coming, this attack. And you're just like, ugh. Yeah, man, I still can't. I mean, we thought last season was tough for Raphael. You monster! And now it's just like, nope, just silence. Soak it in. And the world's come to an end, guys. You're done. It's over. And now here comes this, Fugitoid out of nowhere. You better get in. April's like, we got no choice. We have to trust him.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it ends. So, dude, yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable. And I really encourage everybody to check these out because just like the 2003 show, this has aged very well. This show's, going to be close to 10 years old when we're done breaking down every season. It started in 2012. Final thoughts on this season. I mean, we had a lot of returns. I mean, Robbie Rist is here. Renae Jacobs is here. Jesse the Body Ventura. Just so many celebrities are a part of the show. You get, like I said, there's a lot of, horror's always been popular, but I think around like this time is when horror was really getting big. Now it's all over the place. People are celebrating Halloween on New Year's Day, man. They just love Halloween. So, is there anything to you that, I guess, besides Splinter's death, because I don't know how you can top that as your top shocker or just moment. Do you have any other favorites here?
Oh man, it's like, okay, first off, we got the Northampton arc, which is a classic turtle story with some interesting stuff. And as you said, you really get the feeling that with the third season, I mean, the first two, they did some things were like, oh, I did not see this coming. But you really get the feeling that they are allowed to do more. It's like, okay, we are in the groove now. So Nickelodeon is cool with the show. They're happy with the show. And you really get the feeling it's like, okay, we can be more creepy sometimes. We can do more shocking stuff sometimes. They're like really allowed to do more things here that really surprise you when you think about like, okay, this is a show on Nickelodeon. What's going to happen? Oh my God, that guy died. So
Yeah,
it's really allowed. Like,
no blood and guts, but murder happens in a turtle cartoon. I mean, literally, cold blood too. Just bam, gone. So
and once again, the action is great, and there's some really cool action scenes, some cool martial arts stuff. We meet some really cool characters and some classic characters. I mean, we get Be with Rocksteady. When we first met Steranko and Zack, I did not know that they would turn into Be with Rocksteady later on. That was once again a surprise.
Yeah.
And in the end, we got the Triceratons, and we got a finale that's like it really surprised me to no end. And if you think that this is the end of heartbreak and shocker on this show, just wait until the end of the next season. Looking forward to that.
Gosh, yeah, and it's just so well done. Again, we didn't get this in our 87 series. We had a lot of two-parters. I think they learned from the 2003 show, and they're just like, okay, and obviously the guys who made this were huge fans of the 87 series because you see Mondo Gecko, the Punk Frogs, all those guys are here, and they're just like, how can we appease, and that's got to be a challenge too, I mean, how do we appease fans? Turtles at this time was nearing, 30 years old. You got adults who want to watch this, and like you say, you're watching it with your kids. So, I mean, that had to just be a challenge too, wasn't it? To make sure they got everybody, to be happy with this show?
Yeah, but somehow they succeeded. Like we had fun episodes that were just sometimes a little bit goofy and fun and entertaining and big laughs, and then we got big shocker and tear jerkers and big action scenes. People get really hurt, and it really they have everything. They really put in everything: the horror, the fun. It's there's something for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And if anybody wants to check out more breakdowns of whether it's 2012 series, 87 series, 2003 series, comics, toys, games, Christian, where can they find you, brother?
Man, if you want to check out more from my side, you can check out my podcast, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dead Talk, which you can find Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much everywhere. Or just go to the website, tmnttalk.com. You can find out everything there. All the social media stuff is there, and hey, check it out. I'm from Austria, so I'm doing German episodes, but I also do English episodes every second week. So there's something to check out for everyone. Hey, check it out. Maybe you think, hey, that's funny. Maybe it's entertaining.
Especially horror fans, because I this is not a horror channel at all, and you're able to pull in all those Easter eggs. I'm getting my hair on the back of my neck's been standing up. You're like, yeah, man, we got Freddy Krueger in these shows. We got Jason and coming. Like, oh my God. So it's Saw. Just the list goes on for horror here. So as always, my friend, thank you so much for being here. Before we do our next episode, I'll make sure we get another box of tissues. I know we went through a lot of them in this one, and we're definitely going to need a lot more of those for season 4.
Oh boy, yeah.
Another episode of Shellonomics is in the books. If you guys have not yet, check out all of our other amazing episodes. We've had amazing guests. We've talked about the 1987 cartoon, 2003 cartoon, Next Mutation, Coming Out of Their Shells, video games, the comics, crossover comics like Batman and the Power Rangers, and tons of amazing content with you guys, the fans. Be sure to stop by our YouTube channel, Spotify, and Twitch. And if you have somebody who'd like to be on the show, get in touch with us at kingmictus@gmail.com. That's MikeDAS @gmail.com.